we take deep breaths. Okay, so what today is actually really for, what I planned this day for, is a NHRA Countdown to the Championship special. So just kind of everything you guys need to know, where people are, what's going on. So I have, as always, so many notes, all the notes. Okay, let's start at the top. So 6 races in the countdown to the championship. The last 6 races, which is crazy to think that we're already at that point in the year. I mean, it's like 2 weeks into September, and it's just going to go by like that. So first race in the countdown is this weekend. In Maple Grove in Pennsylvania. It's really interesting because this track was purchased a couple seasons ago and brought back to the tour last season by the Koretsky family. Kenny Koretsky was in Pro Stock for a long time. Kyle Koretsky is now in Pro Stock. They bought the track. They've brought it back to life, which I think is fabulous. I love that. I would love to be a track owner one day. I think it would be just the most fun. The funniest thing to me that was said recently is Kyle was talking about, some of the other sides of, you know, track ownership. And one of those things is concessions. And even though, you have like vendors that show up for the weekend, I think it's super important to have good concessions when, you're just doing your every weekend, like bracket races and whatever other events you're holding. He said he feels like he has mastered chicken tenders. And that might be one of my favorite things anyone's ever said. I love it. Like, that's absolutely something I would say, like, totally master chicken tenders. Like, I hope he has. Like, I think that's great. Um, and if you guys are going, if anyone's going to Maple Grove, get the chicken tenders. Tell me if he has mastered them. I would love to know. Um, so from there, we go to North Carolina, September 22nd through 24th. Second time at ZMAX this season. It's 4 wide the first time, 2 wide the second time. Then, from there, we go to Worldwide Technology Raceway, and for the NHRA Midwest Nationals, September 29th through September 29th through October 1st. That is the halfway point in the countdown. So at that point, I will do an updated stream to just kind of share what's been going on and where everybody's at. And then October 12th through 15th, they're in Texas for the Fall Nationals. Second to last race, October 26th through 29th in Las Vegas. Again, second time this season they go to Vegas, 4 wide the first time, 2 wide the second time. Sometimes, depending on the year and kind of like how it's been going, certain class championships will already be clinched to that point, and you really can never tell going into it if that's going to happen, but we'll be able to maybe get a better idea like 3 or 4 races in. And then they go to Pomona for the finals, November 9th through 12th. And I, of course, will do an update stream after the season has wrapped to just do like a season overview, talk about the champions, and all that fun stuff. But yeah, those races always fly by. The countdown always flies by. There's so much going on, but you're like, holy crap, there's so much going on that it's just like zooming. Okay, so I had mentioned in my My U.S. National Special. I was like, what did I call it? That's what it was. My U.S. National Special. Um, when I was talking about clinching your spot in the countdown, how there have been courtesy spots extended the past kind of season or two, and the courtesy spots exist. So it used to be if you wanted to race for the championship, you got to be in the top 10. If you're not in the top 10 after Indy, that's it, you're done. Um, they have since kind of changed that with the courtesy spots. So if you have shown up to every race weekend, you've qualified, you're in the field, um, you have, you know, been extended that courtesy of a countdown spot. Um, so there are, so with those courtesy spots, because, top 10 and then, so 12 drivers in top fuel, 11 in funny car, 16 in pro stock, and 11 in pro stock motorcycle. Um, yeah. Okay, I've said this before. I don't have an issue with the idea of it because you see, like with all the other classes, it's like one or two people. That's like whatever. Um, my issue with this comes kind of from the pro stock class because they're extending courtesy to the entire field. Like 16 cars is a race day. I just, it's kind of like, what's the point of having a countdown to the championship and like doing all that for that specific class if they're just going to give it to anyone anyway? You know, I don't, I don't know. It's not that I dislike anyone or I think that there are drivers that shouldn't be there, but that was kind of the whole allure to it was you fight for your spot in there. I don't know. So let's go to top fuel. So the way so this is the way the points set after Indy and the way they're sitting going into because they reset the points after Indy. So number one seed going in, Justin Ashley with 2,121 points. Number two, Steve Torrance with 2,091 points. Antron Brown in third spot, 2,077 points. Leah Pruitt with 2,063 points. Brittany Force, 2,053 points. Doug Coletta, 2,046 points. Mike Salinas, 2,033 points. Austin Prock, 2,025 points. Clay Milliken, 2,013 points. Number 10, Josh Hart, 2,000 points. Sean Langdon, 1,992 points. And number 12, Tony Schumacher, 1,982 points. So you can kind of see the way they break it down a little bit. I think there's one class that it's different in the point breakdown. I'm not exactly sure which one it is. But moving to Funny Car, number one seed going into the countdown, Ron Capps with 2,114 points. Then we have Matt Hagan with 2,090 points. Robert Height, 2,076 points. Bob Tasker III, 2,066 points. J.R. Todd at number 5 with 2,058 points. Alexis DeJoria with 2,047 points. Chad Green, who has had really an incredible year. I'm really interested to see what he's going to do in the countdown. 2,036 points. Tim Wilkerson with 2,020 points. John Force comes in at number 9 with 2,015 points. Cruz Pedregon in the 10th spot with 2,000 points. And Alex Laughlin in the 11th spot with 1,990 points. Okay. This is the big one. You can see I wrote a little thing after Indy when I was doing this, and I didn't realize that they were extending it to the whole field for Pro Stock, so I just had them like placed out like the top 10, and then I was like, oh, I'll have a little room at the bottom. It got so small. I'm gonna have to fix that for the next one and rearrange them differently, but they got so small at the bottom. So, Pro Stock going into the countdown, number 1 seed, Dallas Glenn with 2,108 points. Then we have Matt Hartford with 2,083 points. Erica Enders with 2,076 points. Troy Coughlin Jr. with 2,067 points. Derek Kramer in the number 5 spot with 2,056 points. Aaron Stanfield with 2,048 points. Greg Anderson with 2,035 points. Kyle Koretsky with 2,024 points. Camry Caruso with 2,011 points. Number 10, Christian Quadra with 2,000 points. Bo Butner with 1,990 points. Fernando Quadra Jr. with 1,980 points. Jerry Tucker, who I think is in the lead for Rookie of the Year, if I'm not mistaken, with 1,970 points. Mason McGahey with 1,960 points. Chris McGahey with 1,950 points. And in the 16th spot, Fernando Quadra Sr. with 1,940 points. All right, and then we have Pro Stock Motorcycles. Number 1 seed going into the countdown, which I think was no surprise to anyone because he absolutely ran the gambit on everybody this season. Gage Herrera with 2,113 points. Then we have Matt Smith with 2,084 points. Hector Arana Jr. with 2,076 points. Eddie Krawick with 2,062 points. In the number 5 spot, we have Angie Smith with 2,056 points. Then we have Steve Johnson with 2,042 points. Chase Van Zant with 2,032 points. Mark Ingerson with 2,020 points. Gianna Evaristo with 2,010 points. Then we have Kelly Klontz in the 10th position with 2,000 points. And lastly, we have Ryan Ayler in the 11th spot with 1,990 points. So, there we go with that. It's really interesting, the reset. It always kind of, I mean, obviously it closes the gaps, but I think that's kind of really when every single team, you know, top to bottom, they're like, okay, now we gotta go. You gotta like kick it into high gear and, you know, outrun everyone essentially. I mean, which obviously is what you're trying to do the whole time, but really it's like countdown time. It's like it switches. Not that it necessarily means anything to what's going to happen in the countdown. Because this is drag racing. And a lot of the time, it's like a right place, right time sport. But let's go through winners this season just so we can see like what's been trending, who's been trending, you know. But like I said, it's just, this is just like a factoid. It really means nothing going into the countdown. Well, not nothing, but it's not an absolute decider. So, Top fuel winners this season: Mike Salinas, Justin Ashley, Antron Brown, Austin Prock, Clay Millican, Justin Ashley, Leah Pruitt, Clay Millican, Steve Torrance, Justin Ashley, Antron Brown, and Antron Brown. So, Team Toyota, killing it this year. For those that don't know, Team Toyota is in NHRA is Justin Ashley, Antron Brown, Ron Capps, Alexis DeJoria, J.R. Todd, Doug Coletta, Sean Langdon. Yeah, because the Colettas are in there too. But yeah, really strong. Oh, Steve Torrance. I think he's Team Toyota now too. Really strong for them so far. Funny car winners this year: Matt Hagan, Robert Height, Matt Hagan, Robert Height, Tim Wilkerson, Bob Tasca III, Ron Capps, Blake Alexander, Matt Hagan, Tim Wilkerson, J.R. Todd, Bob Tasca III, Ron Capps, and Ron Capps. So, slight variation, but pro stock winners this year: Troy Coughlin Jr., Camry Caruso, Dallas Glenn, Derek Kramer, Dallas Glenn, Eric Enders, Matt Hartford, Troy Coughlin Jr., Erica Enders, Dallas Glenn, and Matt Hartford. And then motorcycle winners this year: Gage Herrera, Steve Johnson, Hector Rana Jr., Gage Herrera, and Matt Smith. So, yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. I do want to do, because we didn't get a chance to do it in IndyCar because Alex Flow clinched the championship with one race to go. So we didn't get to do predictions for it, but we will be doing predictions for the end of the year for NHRA, and then we're going to be doing it for the last endurance race, the Petit Le Mans, because we've done all the other ones. And I'm excited about that. I don't even remember. I have the sticky note of predictions. It's over here. Ta-da! The sticky note of predictions. I might be up 14-5. But anything can happen. Like, there's still obviously a lot of golf left to play. Lots of racing. Emu did win last year, so I said I was coming back with a vengeance this time. But yeah, I think that's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to that. We don't have like anything we actually play for in the predictions race. It's just like a fun thing we do between us. I think I would have created a prize for it if we weren't doing a prize for our F1 Fantasy League, which I am solidly in P3 because I kind of gave up on it for a while. I forgot about it, and then I was like, ugh, because I was just so over the whole thing. I do want to try and make a push for the end of the year, so suggestions, maybe, I don't know. I feel like I'm doing pretty well. I have to actually like sit down and like put some time into it. That's more than like 5 minutes. But yeah, I also have to, that reminded me, because for our fantasy league, we are playing for a championship ring. It's already picked out. I have to get ring sizes from the other two. So if you guys are watching this, I'm gonna message you anyway, but send me your ring sizes. Um, but yeah, I think that's kind of it. I feel better about life now. Having said everything I said at the beginning, and now that I've gone through all my countdown stuff, um, like I said, countdown kicks off this weekend. There is also IMSA this weekend. Let's ooh, let's check on that. What am I humming? It's the Dancing with the Stars theme song. Here we go. Yeah, IMSATireRack.com. Battle on the Bricks at IMS, which is going to be really exciting. I'm super excited to see GTP cars around IMS. It'll be so good. Okay. So, Saturday, September 16th. Okay, so there's like all the things happening for IMSA this weekend. Um, there is Super Trofeo, there is P Cup, there is IMPC. Okay, so let's get into this. Super Trofeo Race 1, 11:45 a.m. to 12:40 p.m. Eastern. Okay. On IMSA TV. And then 12:55 to 2:10 p.m. on IMSA TV is WeatherTech Championship qualifying. 2:25 to 3:10. All these times are Eastern, by the way. IMSA TV is race 1 of Porsche Carrera Cup. 2:25 to 8:30. No, 4:25, sorry. 4:25 to 8:30. Why does that seem like a long time? Is the IMPC race, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway 240. It is available on IMSA TV for the international viewers, and for the viewers in the United States, it is on Peacock, and that coverage starts at 4:30. And then Sunday, 9:35 to 10:20 is race 2 of Porsche Carrera Cup. 10:35 to 11:30 is race 2 of Super Trofeo. And those are obviously both on IMSA TV. 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock on NBC is the WeatherTech race. And then it'll be obviously on IMSA TV as well, and for international viewers, and Peacock. So I think that's going to be good. There's going to be, we're getting down to, you know, the end of it. Which is really, really crazy. Let me just check something really quick. Yeah, this is the last one. The next race after this one is Petit Le Mans, which is so wild. That's crazy. yeah, so we're getting down to it. I think the racing's going to be really good. I mean, like I said, I'm super excited to see these cars at IMS. Again, it's been a long time. Um, but yeah, I think it's going to be great. Um, let me know. Actually, I would love to know who you guys are rooting for, what races you're watching this weekend. And yeah, um, I, like you guys know, I've said it before. If you're not following me on social media, I am a live tweeter during races, so let's hang out, let's connect. And yeah, I think it's gonna be. Ow, I think it's gonna be a good weekend of racing. Um, yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up. That's kind of everything I had. As always, we really appreciate you guys hanging out and following and commenting and just doing all the things and being part of our little internet community. Um, yeah, I was going to say something else, but I'll save that for another one. Um, but yeah, super appreciative of you guys. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.